Hello, good day, everybody, and welcome to today's Giant Percent Qualifier. We've got four excellent racers who we're familiar with, race all the time up on screen. You got OPT Lawyer, Rexral, Chokushura, and Simbu. And Sunny, why don't we talk about today's flags a little bit?
All right, so Giant Percent is a very interesting flag set. The V2 flag means that the game ends as soon as you beat the boss at the Giant of the Bill, which is at the CPU spot. We have no J flags, so no J items, no J spells, no J abilities. Just completely American version, basically. The key items are not going to be placed anywhere weird. It's just where the key items normally are. We got some fun flags in there. We have Fab, we have Spoon, we have randomized package sprites. We have agility agnostic, meaning that Cecil will, if you have Cecil in your party, he will not be your agility anchor. It's always the person in the center. T4, which means that treasure chests can have basically anything.
Right. And we'll have shops will have nothing but cabins and a random pass in them, so no help to be found from any of the shopping. Strategy-wise, we're just looking for that darkness crystal. And character-wise, Edge, who's already normally really valuable, goes way up, and we really want to find either Tella or Fu as well. But we're starting with Edward and Yang, which is, a mixed bag for sure.
Also the pink tail, so if they end up finding the hook, they can go turn that in for free adamant armor, which could be very valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether or not that hook is around will be the big thing there for sure. Definitely going to be looking for that spoon here now with since we have Edward able to equip it. Item dupe glitch is up on, so Edge throwing infinite spoon. We'll definitely be on the lookout for that.
OPT making an interesting play, going straight for... Oh, wait. No. I always... I forgot that this flag has free lunch on. So, that means you're going to see some people going to Troya to get their free key item. Or you'll see what Chokosura is doing, going to Basidia to get their free characters.
My goodness. So Edward in bed with the spoon already. So Edward and Spoon... already available. Just need that ninja.
Yep. Just need Edge, and we are good to go. By the way, I'll watch the left side. OPT doing a little bit of looting.
So picking up a few mages in the city. So the warp glitch is also on. So Rydia learns warp relatively early, so she does have some use there. But mages, especially the non-sage mages, not really particular characters you're looking for in this flag set.
Chokosura going to the watery passage and picking up a DKC. Dark Knight Cecil by himself isn't all that useful, but Mount Ordeals is pretty is a pretty good play in this flag set. So going up there, making him into a paladin, not a bad plan.
Yeah, for sure. Ordeal's probably about as valuable as it can be in this particular flag set. Cecil weapons are great for throwing, although we do have a spoon already in this case. Generally speaking, that's the case. And it gets you Tella's spells and bosses for Fu. And that's mostly to try to get access to the status effects in case you get something in the giant that is vulnerable to those, or access to weak in case you do actually need to do the D-Machine grind, which again, you're already going to the giant anyway, so if you need levels, that's the way to do it.
Yep. So we're just kind of making the rounds. What do you think of the Rydia? You think that could be potentially useful, or?
Hey, there's our ninja in dancing. So we are set for damage.
Yep. So now it's just racing to find the darkness crystal.
For sure. Rydia being useful, yeah, potentially. If Tella's not around, you don't know when Fu is going to learn Warp. It could be, at his last boss, which would not be helpful. Callum does learn Warp, but it takes him significantly longer to learn it than Rydia does, and you're not really trying to grind out levels in this in the Giant Flags, so Rydia could matter if the Sealed Cave item matters, or of course if we find a Leviathan or a Bahamut around somewhere.
I missed something pretty important. In Damsian, there was an Avenger.
So we do have a Cecil that we can get upgraded in Ordeal, so that could be a source of some damage as well. But the Infinite Spoons is really going to be what's going to push these guys for sure.
Of course. But I expected people to be heading to the Antlion Cave, but seems Rex is getting his spoon situation figured out. As is Simbu.
Yeah, they're just figuring, I have access to this, just get it going, and that way we can just steamroll everything. There's very little that can stand up to a whole bunch of Chuck spoons.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever gotten hit with the spoon? They hurt.
Especially one with 255 attack power, for sure. I would not want to be on the receiving end. Yeah. We can already see what the power of this is doing, because Simbu is going through Antlion Cave now, and he is not looting anything that's not immediately in front of his face in T4. So he's not particularly interested in anything anymore now that he has access to this.
The one thing he might be looking for is an adamant armor.
Yeah, that would be nice. More so for the protection for Edge than.
Oh, and Venerable brings up a good point. Duping in a random encounter as opposed to in the Antlion fight, but
right.
That could save a little bit of time, but I assumed that everybody just wanted to have the damage as soon as possible.
Right. The risk that you potentially run is that the Antlion spot is incredibly low stats, so it's very rare that anything there is going to give you any problems. And we do have the Wyvern flag on, where Mega Nuke is going to be replaced with a random skill. For instance, just using Wyvern as an example. But if you do wind up with a boss that's semi-dangerous there, you don't want to wait around while you're doing your duping.
Yeah.
That's probably why they're playing it safe with the random encounter.
Yeah, unless the random skill Wyvern chooses his retreat.
Right. Yeah.
Which can happen.
Yeah, he could also give you something really dangerous too, but yeah.
He can. I think he can do count, right?
Yeah, pretty much anything's on the table for him except for the stuff that's been changed. Did find a magma key as the Antlion reward there. So access to the underground for Simbu here in particular, who is looks like he's heading to Hobbs.
Rex made a bit of a blunder there. No Hobbs in this flag set, so I assume he was going to learn he thought he was going to learn a random summon.
Yeah, and unfortunately put aside there.
OPG just getting equipped. Choco heading up Mount Ordeals.
Yeah, just taking his Cecil and knowing that he's going to want a Fu or a Tella when they show up, just going to get it out of the way now. Simbu into Fabul.
Adamant armor for Choco. Yep, going right on edge.
Yep.
So, something we haven't talked about yet is the Fusoya? Yes, it is. The Fusoya challenge is on this flag set. So what that means is that normally Fusoya starts out with every spell in the game in 1900 HP. In this flag set, however, he only starts with, I think, 500 or something around there.
Yeah, assuming no bosses. Yeah,
and you gain 100, and he gains 100 HP and 3 spells for every boss you. Going up Mount Ordeals is 3 bosses, so that is 9 spells and 300 HP for free.
Well, free. Yeah, and we're down. Yeah, but you can see with Choco, especially with the adamant armor on edge now, like he's just throwing spoons at a base level edge for like 6,000, 6,500 damage.
Chocosura, you disappoint me. I wanted to see Yang's around the world kick.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Yang at the back attack spot is something funny to see for your first time if you have.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure that Yang is ever going to live long enough with these edge spoons to be able to see it here.
OPT, the first one to head to Fabul, and Simbu is looking to head underground.
Yeah, I think Simbu just picked the pan up out of Fabul as well, and he's going to head straight underground here.
I missed that. Then.
Yeah. So I would expect with the pan in hand, he will likely head directly over to the Self Cave.
Water Hag at a Fabul, so free fight.
Yeah, not particularly where you want to see Water Hag in a flag set where you're not leveling, although with the edge spoons it probably doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Rubicon at the Dark Knight spot, very, very good place to see him.
Yeah.
Rex is now also heading up Ordeal. OPT seems to have either not gone to Watery Passage for their Cecil, or they dropped them. Not sure which.
Yeah, probably just doesn't bother.
Okay.
Yeah, with the edge spoons, like I said, this trivializes a lot of your stuff in terms of your characters and your choices. Although no Fu, no Tella, you still kind of want to find either one or the other.
Yeah. Simbu heading to the land of summon monsters.
And grabbing another adamant right there.
Oh, nice. NPC boss, a little bit there. And in the key item chest is the package. He's probably not going to bother turning that in.
I wouldn't think so. If we winds up desperate for one of the sages, perhaps he'll check to see if one of them is there. But I generally probably not going to bother with that 2-3 minute time investment.
I'm guessing he's going to head to the Self Cave next. Yep.
So yeah, we're going through here to try and grab 2 potential items after heading back over to Sheila and maybe a good piece of equipment from the Sylphs. The other runners mostly going through the stuff that we've seen already, and will likely be following Simbu into the underground here shortly.
So, sorry. So, hit him with a pan, and from the Sylphs we get a Stardust Rod. That's alright, I suppose.
Yeah, Stardust Rod is pretty helpful. Strongest rod in the game for black magic. So we do have a Palom already available to us, and we like we've been talking about, we want one of those sages, so that would be helpful there too.
Yeah. Also, casts the Stardust. I think it's Comet.
Yes, casts Comet on use. Yeah.
All right. So Simbu heading in to turn in the pan. And we will see if Sheila has the goods.
For sure.
OPT taking on Baron N.
Yeah, I believe Rexral did do this earlier, and it didn't have anything particularly of note. Perhaps it was may have been Chokashura actually, since he has an Earth Crystal in his inventory.
Simbu gets the tower key and the hook.
Okay, so Hook is another adamant armor, but we already have access to a couple of them, so may not even bother with it.
Yeah. However, Tower Key does open up 2 key item spots in the lower Tower of Babel.
Right. It directly opens up one and sort of encourages you to go check the other one, since you can take all the tower out in one complete shot. Wouldn't be surprised if that's where he's headed. You do technically also get 2 items out of Dwarf Castle, so that's also an option. And yes, looks like Simbu is looking for his sages.
Whoa! I missed. When did we get Twin Harp?
That was the original Baron Inn. Okay.
Can we switch the audio over to Choco's?
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll take a listen to our potential harp music here coming up shortly. It's the Choco making sure everybody's got metallic stuff on, which is a nice little mini time save. Yeah.
All right, let's just be quiet for a bit while this plays out.
Yeah. Hymn of the Faith.
I believe that's Final Fantasy X.
Not gonna hear it for very long with that.
Yeah.
With that spoon. But yeah.
Enjoy it while you could.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Octomam, not exactly the boss you want to see in that spot.
Hey, and there's our darkness crystal.
Choco it's go time for Choco.
Man, Twin Harp is one of, if not the largest time sink for a single item check, so our racers are not, in general, going to be in a hurry to go check that.
Sadly, Choco doesn't have warp exit, so he's going to have to walk out.
Yeah.
But I don't think he minds.
No, you feel really good on almost certainly finding it in the Twin Harp here. And so this will be interesting. You've got the edge in terms of the damage, but you don't really have that mage backup in order to be able to handle what the other bosses in the giant are going to be throwing at you, or to be able to do any really good leveling. So it'll be interesting to see how Choco decides to handle this.
Also, he's got the adamant armor on edge, so this could be interesting.
Yeah. He's going to dive into the giant to at least see what he's up against. If it's a boss that's going to do largely nothing but physical attacks and you can just keep edge in the back row, you'll probably try to get through that. But if you get a boss that's doing like non-elemental magic damage or HP-based damage like a Kainazo or something, then that's going to make things tricky, to say the least.
I seem to have missed Rex picking up the Earth Crystal. Not sure where that was, but... Ordeals, okay.
The ordeals. Makes sense. Simbu is going through, taking out the Dwarf Castle bosses. Looks like we've got a Golbez here.
Not what you want to see.
No.
This fight always takes forever.
Another one of the spots where the adamant armor here is, I mean, it's always great, but this boss in particular makes you immune to the instant death, immune to the hold.
Yeah. So if they end up targeting Edge at all, which just happened, that counts as one of the, as a dead character. So now, even though there's still 3 characters left, Simbu still gets to continue on with the fight.
We got Chokushura is dropping into the giant here, so another minute or so to walk up there, and we will see what we are up against at the element spot.
So, real quick, I want to thank our restreamer, Smate, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Believe it's Smapety, I believe.
Smapety.
Yeah.
And then our tracker is J Money Moton. So thank you. So thanks to both of you. That is in Asura, I believe that is at
Yep.
Zot?
Yeah.
Okay.
To see what kind of characters he's going to pull up here if we get one of our sages.
That could give him an advantage over the others.
Yeah, depending on what. This is largely going to be the decider right here. All right, so Baron guards. So should be okay for Chokushura's point of view. Should just be able to spoon them, and they'll definitely lay waste to the other four.
But the other four don't matter.
Right.
It's all that matters is the ninja throwing spoons.
Yeah, Rosa actually getting a little bit of use here with throwing the mute up, so that'll sort of save some time on the spell animations that the guards use as their counters.
Yep. Spoon throwing ninja. Only if Final Fantasy IV out of context.
To be fair, this Avenger Cecil is going to chip in a little bit of damage before he goes down.
That is true. And down he goes.
Yep.
And Edward's just hiding.
And yeah, the guards only being able to do one damage to Edge in the back row, so we're definitely going to be able to get through here.
Gets a foo.
Perfect. So, I mean, there is still a possibility the CPU boss spot has a lot less health than the Elements one does, but it has a large amount of physical attack power and is very fast. Adam and Edge in the back row, it's still going to be tough to kill him that way, but potentially could still have a bit of a roadblock there.
Also, Simbu picked up the rat tail at the warp spot. So he might go into a bit of a rabbit hole here.
Yeah, unfortunately, like Twin Harp is just going to be at the bottom of the list for a lot of these runners in terms of checking. So there's going to be a lot of people who are going to get sucked into these other key item checks.
Rex running into a wyvern, who I think casted the Pink Puff Berserk on everybody? I think that's what happened.
Probably not a good play from Wyvern's end. Well, I mean, I suppose it stops the ninja potentially from throwing stuff at him, but still not going to work out that well.
Yeah. I love when goofy stuff like that happens. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that one. Oh, the less important crystal at Rat Tail.
Yes. Although for anyone watching, if you do play for Enterprise, if you have not made a trip to Zeromus in Giant Flags, you should.
Oh, I actually haven't done that. I should give that a shot.
Yes.
Alright, so OPT going through his Golbez fight. J Money points out 10 key items for Simbu, so now his experience gain is going to be doubled.
Yeah, which is nice. Unfortunately, so far, it looks like it's not necessary, but we'll see.
Giant percent is not one where you want to do a lot of grinding.
No. And if you do, you wanted to be able to do it with the D machines.
Simbu heading through tower right now.
Now, has that tower key, so this is potentially 2 checks for 1. So that makes total sense, but it's not going to work out, unfortunately.
Yeah. Chokosur is still working on Baron Guards.
There they go.
And down he goes.
One last spoon.
That is King and Queen Eblin at the Luge spot.
Yep, completely free, although Edge will probably kill them before they would even naturally despawn.
Hey, Edge, kill your parents. Got it.
Yeah, you know. Ninja problems.
Alright, so Chokosura's saving.
Alright. Yeah, here we go. Last boss, last potential hurdle. Let's see what this is.
And it is paled him.
Yeah, and just doesn't have the damage to be able to really hurt Edge. So this is going to be free and easy.
It's gonna take a little bit, but absolutely free.
Yep, 3 or 4 spoons and we'll be out of here.
Edward chipping in with his own spoon.
And there it is. GG to Choco.
Nice job, Choco.
Yeah, who is the first place finisher in the race as well with an official SRL time of 24:22.
Good job to Chokosura. Took a bit of a risky play with that Twin Heart, but it ended up playing in his favor.
Absolutely. It's when you're racing, especially when you're racing against a larger field, you figure, you know, this is something that I don't think a lot of people are going to make a priority to do, so I'm going to make it a priority, and if it works, then fantastic. And it worked for him here.
Yep. Rex going through Baron Castle.
Yeah, and like we were talking about earlier, the other 3 runners are just going to get sucked into all of these rabbit holes here that all the other items are opening up for higher percentage in terms of, you know, more items for less time plays, but it's just sitting in that Twin Heart that was in the Baron Inn.
Might we see the fabled 17 out of 17 Giant?
I think there's a really good chance that anyone who didn't do Twin Harp early is going to do exactly that.
Ooh, boy. I've only heard legend.
17 to 17 Giant. It's not as rare as you think.
Yeah. The Fuso, yeah, special.
There we go. Rex finding that, getting that demist out of, I believe it's Baron Castle where they are.
Yeah, that was the Kainazo spot.
Yeah. Demist not hiding a key item in these flags because of Bedward.
Yep. Getting spells on his Fusia, however. And a certain Tella walks in.
Yep.
And replacing Fusoya with him.
Yeah, taking Tella here instead because he's already done ordeals, and Tella is a better anchor.
Yep. And I believe the 3 spells that Tella doesn't get for black magic are Quake, Quake, Nuke, and well, he gets Meteor, but he can't use it.
Yeah, Quake, Nuke, and something else that's not really as relevant. Yeah.
But he still gets weak, and that's the main thing we're focusing on here.
For sure.
Although we don't know if people are actually going to do D-Machine Run, because Rex picked up an adamant armor in the Troya Treasury.
Yeah, I imagine folks are going to at least take a look at what the Elements boss is before they commit to doing any D-Machine grinding, and when they see the Baron Guards, will probably realize they don't need to do it.
Yep. Alright, so Rex is heading to Antlion. OPT is doing ordeals.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, a little odd to have left it this long, but I guess he never has come, or still has not come across the stages, so probably just didn't see it as a priority for him.
And Simbu finishing up his ordeals play. Oh no, he's resetting. I think he reset. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Simbu. I didn't catch that.
I don't know why he reset. But Rex is doing his Antlion now. He kind of surprised that you waited this long for do Antlion.
So perhaps if the tower winds up being Luca Key, he reset out thinking that I don't need any of this, but then realized he does not have access to warp. Or no, he does. He has Iridia. So yeah, no, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing.
So Rex is taking out the Antlion spot. Generally your first check, leaving it for 30 minutes in. But again, that's part of the whole thing of when you're racing with a large group of people. You know so many people are going to go to Antlion Cave that, you know, if it's not important, it's something you can potentially put aside. But then you start getting closer to 30 minutes and a quick fly set like this, you start to get worried.
Yeah, you start to get scared that, you know, you missed something. And they've already seen that Chokosura is done.
And speaking of done, we just had our second place finisher off stream, Dragus, finishing in second place with a official time of 30 minutes and 8 seconds. So from today's qualifier, Chokosura and Dragus will be our automatic qualifiers to the final table.
Congrats to those two.
For sure.
Zaris helping me out here. Tella doesn't get Holy, Quake, Death, and Flare. So he wouldn't get White, Quake, Fatal, or New.
Yeah. This is still an important race in terms of there are going to be some qualifiers who will qualify by overall Z-score as well. And this seed has the potential to have a very large amount of variance in it, with this Twin Heart being the correct play. So finishing soon in the next few spots could still be a very important play for everyone who's still running.
So OPT is either going to be going for OPT's heading for Cave Magnet.
OPT is on the right track. He has just. This is an interesting thing in terms of being able to metagame this out. And Simbu is on his way to the Twin Heart now as well, although to be fair, I don't think he has an awful lot left that he can check otherwise.
Yeah, Simbu has barely anything left to check.
Yeah, so you figure you see the two times that are very fast, and you're stuck in rabbit holes. You have to figure that
somebody did something weird.
Somebody did something that you can do but haven't. And Twin Harp is got to be at the top of that list.
Exactly. Rex heading for his Feymark chest.
Find that package that he almost certainly will make no use out of.
Yeah.
And we have our other two runners running off to pick up their darkness crystals. OPT gonna get there a little bit ahead of Simbu.
Walking on air for a second there. I actually learned about being able to walk there from free enterprise races.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know about that until I started racing this myself.
Might want to switch music to. Oh well, the fight's not gonna last very long.
Yeah.
Not much of a point.
Yeah. So Rex is just going through. He's going to be grabbing his items here, so he will see if he decides to. Actually, Rex never actually did the first Fabul check, so doesn't have the pan.
Simbu slightly ahead of OPT because he made sure everybody had metallic equipment.
Yep, and that's a really good disclaimer there. being able to get through that, not having to sit through the waiting there for the Dark Elf script.
I always keep, like, iron gauntlets and iron rings just to make sure on that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I like to do if I don't have that kind of stuff lying around is I like to do Twin Harp after doing one of the floor tile dungeons. That way everyone's coming in here and with 1 HP and you can kill them all off relatively quickly.
Yep. The first try spell should do it there. Sorry, I just got scolded for talking over music.
That's right. We did get it once before. But...
Yeah. Yeah, Choco already finished. Carolyn,
yeah.
Darkness Crystal was at Twin Harp spot, and Choco checked it before everybody else did. So
yes, he did. Yep. So OPT and Simbu now realizing what happened, and they are on their way to the giant. Still only had the two finishes so far, and like I was talking about, Z-score being based on variance, there's likely to be a lot of variance in this, so getting through it and finishing first can still be very valuable to anyone who winds up qualifying through the Z-scores.
Indeed. Rex making his first football check. Simbu on his way to the giant. It'll take a little bit for him, but
yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. The edge spoons. Well, we saw Choco get through it with no levels whatsoever. So yeah, should not be a problem for players of this caliber here.
Although I am somewhat surprised that I saw an assassin's dagger in somebody's inventory. I'm surprised. I'll be surprised if nobody tries to go for that instant kill chance.
Potentially could save you a lot of time if it works. Of course, if it doesn't work, you're stuck there forever. But yeah, it's definitely something you could roll the dice on.
And also, Rex having Tella, I believe the Baron Guards are susceptible to Petrify?
Yes, or weak, another option. So yeah, the players with the sages will be able to get through this much quicker for sure.
Yes. Unless you want to roll with that instant kill chance.
Exactly. I've had a couple of more finishes off stream. Couch 23 finishing in third, Dusty Griff finishing in fourth.
Couch with a time of 35:28 and Dusty with a time of 36:06.
Stream runners, got a couple of them who are all heading on their way to find those Baron Guards, and Rex unfortunately is just running into all the rabbit holes that some of the other runners have already been through.
Asmati, the assassin dagger has a chance to instantly swoon an enemy. Why is it swoon?
I mean,
I know it's swoon because weird translations, but
yeah. I'm not sure if it's weird translations or if it was Nintendo's, like, we don't want to use, like, specific word sets that either correspond to, like, you know, we don't want to say your characters are dead. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just weird terminology.
Right, like Final Fantasy VI, you go from near death to wounded. I don't really know how that works, but, you know.
Yeah, Delos is right, same reason white isn't holy.
Yeah.
So OPT does not have one of the sages. So he's either going to be running with that, running with the spoons or running with the insta-kill chance.
Yep. The more likely will be using the spoons. We see Simbu putting that to use here.
Yeah. If it were me, I'd try to go for the insta-kill chance. Just could be significantly faster.
Yeah, it could, for sure. And I'm sure the runners who don't have the sages are worried that somebody else has one from somewhere else that is going to make this quicker, too.
Rex accidentally catching a yellow chocobo. These things are impossible to catch in
yeah, they really can troll you.
But Rex finally making his way to Cave Magnus.
Yes.
OPT getting into the Baron Guard fight.
So, well, yep, Simbu just getting through it. He will be.
However, OPT does not have an adamant armor on Edge.
Yeah, that's interesting, especially since Edge is sitting in the front row. These boss spots hit pretty hard. That's pretty risky.
That is a very questionable play. We had two more finishes. Nirm finished in 5th place with a time of 39:07, and
Rivers McCown, 6th place, 39:22.
I wasn't sure if that was Rivers.
Yeah, the big names are starting to come in, and Simbu will almost certainly be right behind them.
Indeed.
And there it is. There's GG's for Simbu, finishing in 7th place with an official time of 40 minutes, 19 seconds.
Good job to Simbu. I am, maybe Edge does have the adamant armor on. Because he only got, because apparently he only got hit for 72, but...
Yeah.
With OPT casting Blink on Edge, I'm gonna assume he does not have the adamant armor on.
Yeah, not taking any chances. Yeah. Yeah, the element spot doesn't quite have the physical attack power that the CPU spot does, which is weird because the CPU doesn't actually attack you physically in the vanilla game at all.
The CPU is honestly just kind of a weird fight.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely it's definitely riskier without the adamant going into the CPU fight. So we'll see if he decides to mess with that. It looks like Simbu is joining us. How you doing? GG, Simbu?
GG.
So, about those rabbit holes, huh?
I mean,
That's
kind of how it happens.
Yeah, for sure. So, you had those dupe spoons available to you super early. How worried or how concerned were you with not having easy access to one of the sages?
I wasn't super worried about it until, I knew Edge could kill everything until the giant, and then I found an adamant armor in Fey March, and then got an extra one from the Pink Tail, so I wasn't really scared of anything. I mean, I know it's a slower fight instead of just being able to cast Stone or something on some of the free bosses, but nothing was really scaring me. It was just, is it going to be slower? And I'm not sure if anyone else found anything decent in those terms, but could have sped up the guards fight, but not much else.
Right. The Tella and Fu were around, but they were stuck behind the Baron Key and the Earth Crystal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not exactly. More rabbit holes.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. There was another adamant armor on non-ordeals as well, which was nice for the people who decided to do that early.
Okay.
OPT finishing up the Baron Guard fight, and Rex just finished up Cave Magnus. and is currently in Mysidia.
So with Choco finishing so quickly, Simbu, was there any metagaming going on for you at all?
Definitely. Didn't you see me reset out a tower?
Okay, that's what it was. Okay. We were trying to figure out what that was. I was trying to think, well, maybe both key items were garbage, or what exactly that was. But you did decide to just climb right back up it.
Yeah, so I wanted to check Ordeals because if it was Ordeals is a really quick check. So I thought, let me go up Ordeals, go and see the key item, and then it was Earth Crystal, so I actually had to save after the fight. And then I was like, well, I guess he could have actually done Tower extremely early. I couldn't remember when I got it in the key item chain, but when it also proved wrong, it was like, okay, I've got Earth Crystal or Twin Harp. I decided, you know what, let's go Twin Harp, because if it wasn't Twin Harp, at least I'll give people music, but
it ended up being Twin Harp.
Yeah.
So we've had a number of finishes since Simbu. Big Dunka finished in 8th with a time of 42:29. Night 2 finishing in 9th with a time of 43:12. Questifer Worgen, which is the best name in this community, finishes in 10th with 43:43. Aizen Tayama finishing in 11th with 44:05. Bleary 14 finishing in 12th with 44:26, and OPT it finishes with a time of 44:46.
So GG's to everybody. OPT, just one of our featured restreamers, just getting through Pale Dim, and Rex Rawl is cabining up right before his Baron Guards here. So any final thoughts from the seed there, Simbu?
Not really. I mean, this is why anyone can win, because if you decide to make the Twin Harp play early and no one else does, there you go. You're in the finals table. But
yeah, absolutely. Sort of very apropos with the World Series that gambling can definitely pay off in these jet flags for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to play the odds and check as many spots as quickly as possible, and it doesn't always work out. So, yeah.
All right, well, GG's again, Simbu. This probably is going to be a fairly high variance race, so that finish may still be a good one for you going forward for qualifications. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for racing for us.
Yep. Have a good time, guys.
All right, and Swimmy Leone has finished in 14th with the time of 45:54.
And we've got OPT in here now. GG, sir.
Hello. Hi. Thank you.
So what'd you think? So you got your dupe spoons almost immediately, and then just this humongous dry spell full of rabbit holes for this.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to come down to like whoever found, Darkness Crystal first, kind of thing. But yeah, honestly, I wasn't really expecting much for myself. This is the fastest one of these. But yeah, I was telling my chat earlier, like, because the seed I did before this, I had 2 edges and infinite spoons. Ooh. And that was so much fun. I'm like, man, if I get Edward, I'm just gonna hope to get that spoon real quick. And sure enough, Edward had the spoon. It was fun.
Rex running into a bit of trouble here. His edge is down, his Tella is down. Having some issues.
Yeah, probably trying to get Tella to get the weeks off or something similar here, but not being able to quite get that done.
He might have to reset this one.
Where was Tella at?
Zot.
I think Fu was in Zot and Tella was at
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, so the sages were pretty buried. So could have been an interesting seed if leveling had really been required for the giant bosses.
Right. Yeah, of course. The 2 guards have to immediately kill my only black mage that has stop on her.
Oy.
Yeah. Thankfully, we're seeing a little bit here on Rex's side, but they don't hit physically hard enough in the element spot to really cause a humongous problem with the adamants. But
right.
Yeah, and Rex has got his back row glitch, spoonward. So he's got the fight. It's just gonna take a bit.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of given up on getting people revived here.
Yimo has finished in 14th with 47.50 with a time of 47.57. GG's to Yimo.
Sure. So, ask Simbu as well. So when you see the early finish OPT, do you do any metagaming yourself? Or are you trying to think how that maybe could have happened?
Yeah, I have to admit, yes, absolutely. That is why I not immediately, but it is why I chose to go to Magnus Cave over Zot first. Because I was thinking in my head, okay, he's finished that fast. How could he have done that? He must have done something we could have done earlier. So I went to one place, I forget where it was, and then I'm like, okay, the other thing we got early was the Twin Harp. That would have been a gamble, must have paid off, so yeah, I hate to admit it, but yeah, I do medicate. But I mean, you almost can't not, you know?
Yeah, I will completely agree. You kind of have to. Yep.
Smay, yeah. Choco, this is giant percent about Apple.
We have been. I mean, it's weird that we've gotten a bunch of seeds so far that have been this fast, but these are the faster set of flags too. So it is kind of interesting to see just how fast the jet flags can be with the last couple of weeks.
Indeed. JDP has finished with a time of 48.44, and Penguinator has finished in 17th with a time of 49.33.
Yeah, GG saw the finishers so far. Any final thoughts, OPT, for the race today?
Just thanks for having me on. I'm really digging this whole World Series of Free Enterprise. It's gotten me to play some seat types I haven't done before. I think this is my favorite, to be honest.
It's definitely a unique flag set. As I've heard Rivers call it the Cadillac of jet seat flags, and I think there's a lot of truth to that.
So
that sounds about right.
This is the Texas Hold'em of the entire event, is what you're saying.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, we're moving into pot lib in Omaha here, coming in the next.
Oh man! Right. Oh dear. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for the restream and everything. I really appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, OPT. Thanks for racing for us.
And once again, I want to thank my commentary partner Zyrak.
Absolutely, Sonny. Thank you. It's good working with you today.
I also want to thank our restreamer Smipey, or however you pronounce it.
Smapey, yep.
Smapey. And
yep.
our buddy J Money Motos on tracking. All right, so looks like Rex finishing up the Baron guards.
Yeah, good for him being able to stick through that and push through that despite having some little bit unlucky there early with the with Edge and Tella just being repeatedly put down.
My good friend Ketchi 2 finishing in 18th with 51.11. Salch or
Slack. Yeah.
Slack finishing in 19th with a time of 51.18. Zilch finishing in 20th with a time of 51.25. And Mirai Noko finishing in 21st with a time of 52 flat.
Yeah, it definitely does show you the variance. You definitely have a few people who would probably be considered heavy favorites who are just finishing now, and that's what can happen when you get stuck on those rabbit holes.
Yeah, Penguinator going down early must have been a very finishing. Penguinator finishing outside of I think he finished outside the top 15.
Yep, and Zilch was a final tableist on the Appleseed flag set as well. So definitely some great players who just get trolled a little bit by that Twin Harp.
Yeah, again, sometimes you just end up down a rabbit hole and you don't know where to go.
Yep. Rex just about to finish off this pale dim here. This one final spoon should do it. Oh, not even. Cecil stole it, but there we go. GG's to Rex.
Good job, Rex. Finishing with an official time of 53:06. Fresh Cut Fries finishing with a time of 53:32. And SG4E finishing with a time of 53:34. So GG's to all the runners.
For sure. I think we're going to speak rare. There he is. GG's, Rex.
Hi there.
So you had sort of an interesting route towards the beginning, from what I recall. Left a lot of the early game spots for later, and then you see that Chokashira early finish. So how did that run in your head?
Well, it made me think that, it made me double think, and it actually probably hurt me more than it helped me, because I had already found the twin harp by the time that Chokasura had finished, so I kind of eliminated that from my mind immediately, and I started going to the other places. I went to Magma. I saw Galvez at Dwarf Castle, and I'm like, no, I'm not even going to bother trying to fight that right now. And did almost everything, and then I'm like, wait a second, why don't I just do this twin harp check? And lo and behold, there we go. So I got that spoon and edge early, so I figured that I can go to the more difficult spots like the Tower of Zot early, because it's not going to be difficult with that duped spoon to beat almost anybody, and it wasn't. None of the bosses were very difficult. And I just wanted to get Fusia or Tella in case I needed to do a D-machine grind, so that's why I prioritized Zot really early.
Yeah, for sure. And that, I mean, had the bosses in the Giant been tougher than they were, that may very well have worked out for you, because Chokashura was in there early, but unfortunately, they were stuff that an adamant spoon-throwing ninja could take care of on his own.
Right. So yeah, I figured I had the goods. If the path to the darkness was the way that I was going, I think I was in line for a pretty good finish. But it didn't work out that way this time. No big deal.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely what happens.
All right, so Scratch Dragon finishing in 25th with a time of 54:14. Dr. Cossack finishing in 26th with a time of 54:15. Very close between those two. Accident finishing in 27th with 54:40, and Poydrak finishing in 28th with a time of 55:18. So again, GG's to all the runners. Again, I will give a thanks to J Money Motos for the tracking. I'm never gonna get this right.
Smipty.
For the restreams, and my co-commentator Zyrak for helping me out.
Not a problem, Sonny. Thank you. It was great working with you today. We had a really interesting race, really good, I think, seed for showcasing what the Giant flags are going to be all about for the next few races here coming up. So it was a quick seed. We got to see the infinite spoons from Edge. We got to see how that gamble for the Twin Harp paid off. So hopefully, if we can get to see a seed where we get to see the sages and with the real power they can have upcoming here. That's really the only thing we didn't get to see that's sort of different about these flags. So a really, really nice opening race for this version of the final table sets.
Indeed.
All right, so I think with that, we will wrap it up for today, and we will send everybody off somewhere for some more RPG or Final Fantasy IV action.
Well, we need to tell them when they can catch the next raid.
For sure. So 8 o'clock Eastern tonight will be the next qualifier for this set.
And I guess I will think in advance. Mortal Mago, who is going to be restreaming that. Crimson Avix, and he's back. Smodp.
We'll get you there. We'll get you there.
I'll get it eventually. Crimson Avix and Smodp are doing commentary, and Neon Gray is going to be doing the tracking for that.
Fantastic. So be sure to come back and check out the next qualifiers coming up tonight and tomorrow. And we'll be sending everybody off to the RPG Valkyries, who are doing a marathon to be able to get themselves to Limit Break, where there will be more Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise action. They've got some ancient Roman Power of the Dark Side going on right now. So that's where we will be sending everybody. So thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to tune in and have a great day.
Goodbye, everyone.